Hunter saves it. Hunter Hughes is coming around. Here comes Colton Garner. It's Hunter Hughes!
Turn 4 for the final time. Who's got more ponies? Checkered flag out. Bluegrass 150 goes to Ian Miller.
And welcome back to the Daily Dribble Podcast, guys. As always, I'm your host, Nick Zammit.
Good, get the name out there. It's like, hey, Joseph Newgarden, you're the guy with the sperm commercial. Yeah.
Hello everybody and welcome to round 7 of the Wednesday Night Dash series. Tonight we're at Lucas Oil, Indianapolis Raceway Park for Short Track Madness presented by Showtime Esports Productions. After a couple of weeks away, I am back in the booth tonight. We're just finishing up here with the practice session. Hunter Hughes' dominant performance at Lime Rock Park has helped him pull away and build a decent lead over Dawson Buchanan, as I realize I should probably pull up the our standings here. So now with 18 points over Dawson Buchanan, Jax Malin in second. Fernando Takashi joined the session as the cars were taking the grid and managed to go from 14th to 4th and may have challenged Hunter for the win if he had a better starting spot. And then Jax, Garrett, and Colton are all battling for that third spot in the championship right now. In the team standing, Smoky Mountain Racing with an 8-point lead over JM Motorsports, and then Blue Ridge Racing quite a ways behind in third. But FR Racing challenging them for that third spot, and then WJM Motorsports in 5th and FTP Racing in 6th. As we head to qualifying here, with I believe 11 cars signed up to race tonight. However, hopefully they put on a good show here with just a couple of races to go in the season. Hughes goes to the top of the board, and there's Colton Gardner across the line. He's going to be 2/10 slow, and then actually he's going to drop down to third. And Christopher Hughes is going to take that second spot away from Colton. Hunter Hughes still in provisional pole for now. As he finishes both of his laps and now resets the pits. Only a couple of cars out here. Still on a qualifying lap, actually. No, there's Brian McKinney. Maybe not. Here's JP Jones. Maybe. If my ATVO wants to cooperate. There we go. There's the number 8. That's Brian McKinney as he spins out. With 2 minutes to go here before we take the green flag, Hunter Hughes looks like he will be starting from pole position. But while we wait, come join Wednesday Night Dash drivers Eric Christensen and DJ Fluck as they bring you the week in real and simulated motorsports. And on this week's episode, Eric announces that he's moving to Florida. They review the Formula 1 2026 schedule and discuss why it could be a bad idea to try to compete head-to-head with Indy 500 for TV ratings, plus a recap of the Michigan NASCAR weekend. So download FR Racing's Garage Talk on Spotify or wherever you download your favorite podcasts, or tune in after the race. All new episodes released on Friday mornings, with the replay airing Saturdays at 2 p.m. Eastern right here on Stadium Scene TV. Still with about a minute to go here till we grid. Take a look at tonight's race. So we're at Lucas Oil Indianapolis Raceway Park in Brownsburg, Indiana. It opened in 1960. A little over half mile in length, closer to 3/4 of a mile. And we've got 90 laps here tonight, or 60 minutes, whichever comes first, with cautions enabled and 1 green-white checkered. So hopefully keep it clean tonight. I'm guessing with only 12 drivers, we will not see many cautions, but we will see. Qualifying comes to an end here. Cars hit the grid to begin tonight's race. So let's take a look at tonight's starting lineup. Starting from pole position in the number 18 car is Hunter Hughes. Alongside him in row 1 is the 49 of Christopher Hughes. Leading, or the inside of row 2 is JP Jones in the 21 car. Alongside him is the number 40 of Colton Gardner. In row 3 we have the number 1 of Dylan Behrens and the 32 of Garrett Jarnigan. The 54 of John Miles as he disappears there will be in row 4. Here we go. Starting 8th is Dawson Buchanan in the number 4. Connor Fuge in the number 19 will start from the 9th spot. In 10th is the number 8 of Brian McKinney. 11th is Bill Muffeld in the 911 car, and starting 12th tonight is Jack Smalin in the number 9. So we got 1 lap to green here. With Hunter Hughes leading the field to the green flag, looking to pick up another win and extend his championship. As the pace car pulls off, out of turn number 4, and green flag is in the air for 90 laps here at IRP. Usually good start there. Pulls out to the lead. JP Jones in the turn inside of Christopher Fuge, and he'll clear. In at turn number 3, he'll get right to the left rear of Hunter Hughes. Across the line, Hunter Hughes will lead lap number 1. As there goes the number 1 spinning. Looks like everybody aboard is out into the grass. And stay green. No, the caution is out. My screen showed the caution was out, but so an early caution there is Dylan Barron's. Goes for a bit of a spin. I think he just lost it on his own there. See, I believe that's coming around turn 3. Just loses it. Good job by the 4 there, Dawson Buchanan, to avoid him. We look at his view of that, or that spin here. Just barely away unscathed. But Hunter Hughes will restart from the race lead once again on lap number 6 when we go back to green. Dylan Barron's moving through the pit lane. He'll make his way. Go back to racing here as the police car moves away. And once again, Hunter Hughes is going to lead us to the green flag. The green flag back in the air. Hunter Hughes with a good start. He'll keep the lead to 21, going to tuck in behind him right away this time. Now here comes the 21, looking to the inside of Hunter Hughes. Trying to take the lead early here is with no stage break, if there are no cautions. And it's all going to come down to your tire savings. Hunter Hughes into the wall there. There's now the 49 of Christopher Fuge is going to look to the inside. Side by side down the front stretch, and Fuge will take away the second spot from Hunter Hughes, who drops back to 3rd. Quickly there after the restart. Here's Colton Gardner. Dawson Buchanan looking at the inside of Colton Gardner. That is for 4th. ahead and he'll clear, and then the number 9, Jax Malin, will also go around Colton Gardner out of turn number 4. We complete the first 10 laps of this race. JP Jones with the lead. We're making a move to the inside of Hunter Hughes. And now Dawson Buchanan, as the 19 there of Connor Hughes spins off into the wall. We stay green as he gets back going. Looks like his engine is done though. And he'll bring it into the pits. So the field will come around to lap him. If we stay green, for now we are. Now that he's into the pits, I assume we stay that way. So that was Connor Hughes taking a spin. So let's see what happens. Again, just loses it by himself and goes straight into the barriers. Or into the outside pit wall, actually. So Hunter Hughes still staying in that 3rd spot. Everybody's single file here. So we're trying to settle in with 75 laps to go. And the one caution so far, as everybody gets spread out. Likelihood of another caution. Really slim, especially with the 11 cars. So, here comes Dylan Behrens looking to the inside of Colton Gardner for 6th. He won't get the move done. Back to the inside. Gardner, a much better run. Coming out of the corners here. Up ahead a little bit, Jax Malin putting on the pressure to Hunter Hughes. Trying to put himself in the final spot of the podium here. Jones out 7/10 a second of a lead over Christopher Hughes, who's got about a second to Hunter Hughes. So we hit lap 20 here. We have another car off. I believe that's Brian McKinney. Same thing as Connor Hughes. But it does look like he was able to save it a little early. Or early enough. It's not going to cause too much damage. As again, just loses it by himself. Fortunately for him, able to keep it off the wall and reverses it. Is able to keep going as we stay green, with JP Jones continuing to lead this race. Christopher Hughes trying to close in at 0.6 of a second as Hunter Hughes now within a second of the leader, within 0.3 here of Christopher Hughes for second. Three cars here, back to back to back, with the 49 is, or never mind, it's Christopher Hughes. Hunter Hughes goes to the inside, and so will Dawson Buchanan. A little bit into the wall there. But Hunter Hughes and Dawson Buchanan into second and third. Making the move on Christopher Hughes. JP Jones able to pull out to a second lead. So Hunter Hughes will try and make a run back to the race lead after losing a after the restart in lap 6. The gap to JP Jones shrinking down to about half a second. Hunter Hughes and Dawson Buchanan continuing to work together here. Kind of make their way up to the front. Jackson Malin in number 9, hanging about 3 or 4 tenths of a second behind Buchanan and Hunter Hughes here. As Hughes pretty loose there, coming out of 4. We already saw 2 cars lose it in that spot. And with how close the championship is for Dawson Buchanan, it's very important to at least try and lead a lap tonight to get that extra bonus point without the stage break. So there's no point for winning the stage. There is, though, for fastest lap of the race. Half a second is what this gap is staying at from our leader to Hunter Hughes behind. Now down to 4/10 as Buchanan up into the wall. That's going to let JP Jones catch up here. And now Buchanan looked like he was going to go to the inside there of Hughes, but he'll back off. So the top 4 cars here, all within a second of each other. Coming up on the halfway point. Hunter Hughes still slowly catching JP Jones here with 50 laps to go. Hunter Hughes look to the inside. Again though, he's going to tuck back behind. Or sorry, that was Dawson Buchanan. He'll tuck behind Hunter Hughes. Just 3/10 from Hughes to Jones. And then a second and a half from Malin to Behrens. That's the gap from 4th to 5th. As here comes Hunter Hughes looking to the inside of JP Jones to take the race lead back after almost 40 laps from the restart. As Hunter Hughes will clear for the race lead. Dawson Buchanan also to the inside of Jones. 3 wide almost for the lead as Jax Malin also making his way around JP Jones. But Jones fights back to the inside there of Dawson Buchanan. They make contact. Malin drops back in 4th. But Hunter Hughes back to the race lead. JP Jones looking to the inside of Buchanan. They touch again. But finally Buchanan's going to clear for that 2nd spot. Right at the midway point of the race. Hunter Hughes back to the race lead. Dawson Buchanan in 2nd. JP Jones loose off of turn number 4. That's going to allow Malin into that 3rd spot. So now your top 3, Hunter Hughes, Dawson Buchanan, and Jax Malin. Really good battle there for 2nd between Buchanan and Malin, making contact a couple of times. There's another car, but I think that was Behrens getting loose off the exit of turn 4. But Buchanan able to recover there. They're losing a couple of tenths from the battle with JP Jones, and now he's going to look to put on the pressure to Hunter Hughes for the race lead. And a very important extra 5, actually extra 6 points here if he can score the victory tonight with the bonus point and the extra 5 points for getting the win, as the gap between those two in the standings is, I believe, 15 maybe 18 points. Never mind, it's a little more than, or yeah, 18 points. Buchanan gets right to the rear of Hunter Hughes. Across the line, just under 40 laps to go. Coming up on some lap traffic. As Hughes into the wall there, but I believe Buchanan was too, so that's actually going to let Jax Malin gain a couple of tenths back towards the top two cars as they approach the number 8 lapped machine of Brian McKinney here. Jax Malin doing everything he can, trying to catch up. Coming up on just 35 laps to go. However, the gap between him and Dawson Buchanan around 6 tenths. And less than half a car length, probably less than a quarter of a car length separates Hunter Hughes from Dawson Buchanan for the race lead. As they'll go low here, getting around the lap car. As Buchanan struggles a little bit more there than Hunter Hughes getting around. So Hunter Hughes gains a little bit of time. But still just 2 tenths separating our top two here. Hunter Hughes running a little bit higher of a line there. Maybe trying something different here to see if he can gain any speed. Jax Malin drops back almost a second behind Dawson Buchanan. Also Buchanan barely into the wall there again. So Hunter Hughes over half a second gap now for the race lead. As finally things start to settle down here just a little bit. As we actually do have quite a few more battles going on around the track. This one is for 4th. That's JP Jones, who had led almost 40 laps of the race tonight. Trying to hold off Colton Gardner in the number 40. But the gap for Hunter Hughes is back down to less than 2 tenths with 30 laps to go. Another lapped car, that's the 19 of Connor Hughes, just going to put him 7 laps down as he goes to the bottom of the racetrack. and he'll let these two lead cars by. So Jax Malin, who was up with these two cars, over a second behind now. But we'll see how hard Buchanan fights Hunter Hughes for the win here tonight. Maybe giving Jax Malin a chance to steal one if anything goes wrong up front. Colton Garner getting around JP Jones for fourth. It's going to put him 3 seconds behind these top two cars, about a second and a half behind Malin. So we'll see if Hunter Hughes can make a run for the podium here in the last 25 or so laps. Buchanan still hanging behind Hunter Hughes as the 19 there of Connor Fuge gets loose. Again, that's how we got 7 laps out in the first place. Blew his engine, I'm pretty sure, hitting that wall. Almost has it happen to him again. I guess we'll see here in 20 or so laps if Buchanan actually has the pace to get around Hunter Hughes, and if he's just waiting for his opportunity right now. Which, with how fast he was able to catch up after falling about half a second behind, I would think he's got the pace to beat him. Colton Gardner continuing to close the gap on both the top two cars and Jax Malin. As that time across the line, we have just 20 laps to go. Gardner 6/10 closer to the lead car than what he was just a couple of laps ago. And with Connor Fuge, this lapped car here, we'll see if Colton Garner can make a run at this. Still has to get around Jax Malin though, but his gap from 3 to 2.3 seconds, and that continues to shrink. Colton Gardner with 18 laps to go. Again, he still has to get around Jax Malin. I think if he can catch up to this lead pack, it is dependent on how quickly he can make a move on Jax Malin here. He's back up front. Dawson Buchanan finally making the move on Hunter Hughes. But Hunter Hughes looking back to the inside. They make contact.
Buchanan up in the wall. They both crash. Jax Malin goes to the race lead with 15 laps to go. As the caution is out on the speedway with 14 laps to go. Or I guess it's a raceway, not a speedway, but Buchanan and Hughes still in third and fourth. Not sure about the damage to them. But I said it earlier, if Malin could stay close, you never know what would happen, what could happen between these top two when they're fighting. We'll just rewind here a little bit more. Hughes was looking to the inside and made contact right there. Sent Buchanan up high. And Buchanan gets loose there out of turn 4. Right into Hunter Hughes. They spin Jax Malin in the number 9 here. If we look at his cockpit, they make contact. He hooked it down to the bottom. Oh, he made hard contact with the wall there. So he's for sure going to have damage. Yes, so Jax Malin sending it into the pit lane. However, we were looking at the replay. We didn't see what happened. But Jax Malin goes down pit lane. But luckily for him, so does everybody else trying to get tires. And Jax Malin able to use his fast repair to fix the damage. So we're going to have a 12, actually more like a 10 lap shootout here for the race win. Assuming we will remain on lap 80 to 81. The pace car lights are out. Jax Malin is going to lead us to a green flag. Buchanan in second, Colton Gardner third, and Hunter Hughes in fourth. Pace car pulls off. And here we go. 10 laps to go across the line. Coming out of turn 4 as the green flag is back in the air. Good start there on the outside for Dawson Buchanan in the number 4. But Jax Malin, as we have a spin in the back, Dawson Buchanan takes the lead. But the caution is back out. Remember, we do have one green-white checkered attempt. So this time, there's going to be about 5 to go.
instead of a 10-lap shootout, it's going to be a 5-lap shootout. With Dawson Buchanan leading us to the green flag. The caution out for, I believe, the 3rd time tonight after a spin. Went out of turn 4 once again for like the 5th time tonight. This time on the restart, bringing out the caution. Jax Malin will restart from the outside. Great restart from the number 4 at last time. As I'm going to have 5 to go here. Hunter Hughes, who started from pole and battled for the lead. We'll restart from 4th as the pace car blew away. And we're ready to go green. Coming out of turn 4. And the green flag is back in the air. Jax Malin again, not with a great start there. This time on the outside, Dawson Buchanan pulling away with the lead. Hunter Hughes to the inside of Malin. They're side by side for that 2nd spot. Hughes finally able to clear. Here comes Jax Malin looking back to the inside as Malin spins into the wall. But we stay green. So it's back to Dawson Buchanan and Hunter Hughes with 4 laps to go. 2/10 separates Hunter Hughes from Dawson Buchanan. Colton Gardner in 3rd. As the caution now comes back out. Which means with 3 laps to go, we are going to be heading to overtime.
So the lights still on the pace car, though he will be off this time. And we're going to have 2 laps to go. This car is off. We're going to go green once again for the last time. If a caution comes out, the race is over. Dawson Buchanan with a great jump there, as Hunter Hughes will pull out to second. Into turn 3, the gap just 0.2 of a second. It's about a car length between Dawson Buchanan and Hunter Hughes. White flag is in the air. Buchanan leads. Hunter Hughes is right there, but is he close enough to make a move? Looking for a run into the wall there. Dawson Buchanan into turn 3. Trying to claw his way back in the championship. Will win at Indy. Hunter Hughes finishing in second, and Colton Gardner rounding out your podium in third position. Great race tonight. We can see our full final results right here. Dawson Buchanan finally finished doing his burnouts, as we'll wait for these top 3 to come join me in the broadcast booth. So here's Dawson Buchanan getting the win tonight. So Dawson, congrats on the win. Heck of a run there tonight. Really entertaining to watch. But I guess, what was your strategy coming into tonight, and how did everything play out for you?
Yeah, my strategy tonight was doing a lot of studying for my chemistry midterm here, so not a lot of prep for the race. Didn't really run much practice except for like maybe 10 minutes of hot laps at the end of the practice session right before the race. So just glad I was able to figure a little something out with a little help from my teammates and everybody at JM Motorsports. We can stop and all. It was just a good run there.
And then take us through those final 2 restarts there with 5 laps to go, and then with 2 laps to go there in overtime.
Yeah, so I guess it was the second to last restart. Jax had the lead, and I just got lucky enough to get a pretty good jump there and had the preferred lane and was able to get by him. And then caution came out, and then I was restarting first, and he was second, and had the Smoky Mountain boys behind us, and kind of knew what was going to happen if they got a good jump. And luckily, we jumped in pretty good there on that one, and then last restart, same kind of deal. We just got a good jump, and that's all that it came down to is that last jump.
Well, congrats again on the win.
Yep, thank you.
Thanks for the interview. So there was Dawson Buchanan, your winner for tonight. We'll see if Hunter Hughes will be. But if not,
It's obvious that there is a quality issue with oval racecraft and iRacing, and we're going to do something about it. So if you're new to oval racing or struggling to develop, want a broadcasted racing league with other oval novices focused on getting better, then come join the Bottom Split Racing Series starting Monday, June 23rd at 10 p.m. Eastern, with races every other week until late September. And it will feature W&D driver Hunter Hughes, who has joined us now on the play-by-play. So, but Hunter, finishing second tonight, take us through that final two restarts there.
I mean, when I get intentionally dumped with about 10 laps to go, there's not a whole lot to say. I was planning on giving the 4 a nice big bump there, bend up some sheet metal at the end, but just wasn't able to get to him.
And then what was the strategy coming into tonight?
Honestly, the strategy was just trying to save tires. I'm kind of surprised that we went almost the entire race without a yellow. We had that very early yellow, but after that it was clean the whole way through. But yeah, then I started just trying to back up my tires and just didn't have it in the end. I thought I had a shot at the end because I think I had a tire advantage over the 4 coming down to the final laps, but it's a shame we never got to see it play out that way.
Well, congrats on the podium for tonight, and thanks for taking the time to interview.
Thank you.
And then Colton Gardner, finishing in the final spot of the podium. Pretty good run there. Colton coming from, I think, like 6th or something within the last couple of laps. I think he would have finished 3rd anyways without the 2 yellows, as you were making up quite a bit of time. But I guess, what was your strategy coming into the race tonight?
Really just to survive. After Bristol, the caution fest that we had at Bristol, I just wanted to try and survive the race, and it going green for as long as it did was pretty nice there, and I was able to play a tire strategy out there that I think could have paid off at the end, if it had stayed green, but it didn't. But then I was just trying to hold on there at the end and try and make something happen, which is hard to do when it's kind of hard to pass here, honestly. But that's what makes this track fun.
Well, congrats on the podium tonight, Colton.
Yeah, man, thank you. And hopefully none of our team gets wrecked out in the remaining races. This is getting really old. So, thank you for what you do.
And thanks for the interview as well.
Yes, sir.
So there were your top 3 for tonight. So make sure to come join us. That's the wrong schedule. Come join us next week on June 25th at Dover Motor Speedway as we start the final 3 races of the season. Green flag at 10:17 p.m. here on Stadium Scene TV. So thank you everybody for coming out tonight and tuning in, and we hope to see everybody next week.